What is going on, YouTube people? Neo Cards and Comics here for a little peek at the Gemrate data for March 2022. Now tracking the four main grading companies, in my opinion, the only four that actually matter: PSA, SGC, Beckett, and CSG. Like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube jazz. Let's go ahead and dive in. Take a little different tact this month with this. I usually do this video every month when Gemrate comes out with monthly recaps. And as I've stated before, interesting stuff in here, seeing this stuff tracked month to month. And it'll be interesting to follow this now that we have baselines for what these companies are working through. You know, PSA has hit almost 1 million cards in a month. This is a new all-time high for them, just shy of 1 million. SGC, to the best of Gemrate's knowledge, this is an all-time high for them at over 100,000. CSG's first month on the chart, and then, you know, Beckett sitting there in third place in terms of number of cards graded at 76,000. And like I said before, the interesting thing here is as time rolls on, what do these numbers look like when PSA doesn't have a backlog anymore? When prices start fluctuating at these companies, does demand shift? For example, CSG. This was really the last month under the green label. You know, the green label was announced, you know, kind of in the middle to late March. So that 59K is kind of showing demand under the old system because their backlog was basically clear. So now, you know, maybe April's data is too soon to say, but what does April and maybe May's data look like? Do we see big increases showing us increased demand? Because they don't really have a backlog right now. We know that. They're turning stuff around pretty quickly. I don't remember their exact turnaround times, but we're going to have a good idea real fast, probably in 30 to 60 days, about how that label is sitting with people in regards to wanting to send their cards to CSG. Then we'll start getting an idea on what those comps for and the whole 9 yards. Beckett's just sitting there doing their thing. Supposedly they have a bunch of new stuff coming out. I need to read more into that with vaulting and NFTs and all sorts of nonsense. And then SGC and PSA continue to do their thing as well. I kind of want to circle back and, you know, instead of just digging through and kind of reading the numbers, let's just kind of chat for a little bit here. The PSA hitting the almost million card mark, coming off of, and I kind of talked about this at the beginning of Sunday's video, coming off the news that they have over 100 graders. So we have a rough idea of how many graders that they have. And I've seen a lot of content / comments, just general social media vibe about, oh my God, there's no way that they could grade all these cards. They're looking at your cards for 10 seconds. This is nuts. What is going on? And people have kind of sat down and mapped it out. People smarter than me or just have more time than me that have basically said it's about 3 minutes per card. And a lot of people just lost their minds over that. So what I would challenge each and every one of you to do, whether you pause the video or at the end of the video, if you have a card laying around, I want you to pause the video and look it over when you get home or whatever it is. Set a little stopwatch on your phone. Every phone has a little stopwatch app, or on your watch or whatever. And pick up a single card, a raw card, and look it over for 3 minutes. Let's assume this is a random modern card, because I have a feeling they probably spend a little bit more time than 3 minutes when an 86 Jordan comes through, or some monster vintage card, or some huge card, whatever. Let's just assume this is, you know, what do I got laying around here? A Darius Garland Silver Prism. Set a timer for 3 minutes, a card like that, and look it over for 3 minutes. My question to you is, did it really take you 3 minutes to figure out if that card should be set in for grading? This is a little bit of a different approach, but it doesn't really take that long, guys. People are freaking out about this, and I don't really know what you expected. I don't spend 3 minutes looking over my cards before I send them in. It probably takes me 60 seconds, especially for ultra modern stuff. You either know right away or you don't. You glance at the centering, it either looks on or it looks off. Maybe you check it with a centering tool if it's, you know, driving you cross-eyed or something, just to verify. That takes not that long. You look at the corners, you check the surface, maybe you wipe it off. They're not even doing the wipe off part. And remember, their cards, they have research people doing all the other legwork for them. The graders are literally probably, I don't know this for sure, but I'm assuming the grader is just literally grading a card. They probably get some sort of info sheet on what the card is, yada, yada, yada. And then they're just literally looking at the card and assigning a grade to it. And I believe 2 graders sign off on a grade. So really the card's getting looked at twice. But once again, the people that are losing their minds over, oh my God, PSA only takes 3 minutes to look over cards. That's crazy times. Take 3 minutes to look over a card. 3 minutes is a long time. It doesn't sound like it is, but 3 minutes is a while. Especially just to stare at the same card. It really does not take that long. Vintage, different story. You know, I kind of talked about this on the Sunday video. And just because we know PSA's number, I think we would be shocked if we knew the number of graders for the other companies. I can't imagine SGC has very many graders. I wouldn't be surprised if they had more than 20. They're probably less than that. I threw some numbers out speculating, and people that I feel like would know said that it's probably closer to 10 to 15. And they weren't 100% sure what it was. That was speculation on their part as well. But once you start mathing that stuff out, it's really not that much difference. So none of these companies, if you think any of these grading companies are spending an absorbent amount of time on your cards to assign a 9 or a 10 to it, I got a bridge to sell you. It's not the way that it works. It really does not take that long to evaluate a card, especially, let's say, 80% of the cards being sent into them. You know, a Bull base Prism, I know we love them. I know we love that card. It's a beaut. It really is. It doesn't take 3 minutes to figure out whether that card's a 9 or a 10. It really doesn't. Try it. I'm challenging you all to try it. Like I said, whether you pause the video or circle back after the video, then come back and leave me a comment and be like, you know what? Yeah, it took me like about a minute to figure out whether this thing should go in for grading. Because 9 times out of 10, if we're talking ultra modern here, if you're reviewing a card to send in for grading, you're basically grading the card. Because most people aren't sending stuff that they think is going to 9 unless it's a very high dollar card, and then you're okay with getting a 9 on it. Most people are sending assuming they are getting a 10. So you're looking the card over, basically grading it. You're doing a rough grade saying, I think this card is going to PSA 10 based off of what I see, and then maybe you wipe it down, maybe you don't with a microfiber. I don't know. That's my challenge to you guys and girls, is spend 3 minutes with one card and let me know how that goes in the comments down below. And once again, if you think that PSA is doing something crazy, spoiler alert, they're probably all spending about the same amount of time or less on your cards. They really probably are. So PSA is close to 1 million cards. The backlog continues to fall. The last update that they gave on their podcast was slightly under 5 million. You know, they're doing 80% on the backlog and 20% on new stuff. And then we're probably by summer, which is what their prediction has been, until things get pretty cleared out. And I have the feeling that they will partially open the floodgates more and more as we get closer and closer to things freeing up. I would not be surprised if we see either more $50 events or a slight decrease in price. I'm actually surprised and curious for your thoughts on this as well. I'm kind of surprised SGC stayed at $30 a card. They basically have no backlog right now. They're humming along at $30 a card with around a 2-week turnaround time, give or take. You would think they would want to get a little ahead of the game on that. And I thought Peter had said, and I please correct me if I'm wrong, commenters, that they did not want to stay at $30. They wanted to get off that number. I guess my question is what are you waiting for if that's the case? You're basically caught up. You have no backlog. So shouldn't we be maybe dropping down to 25? I know you could get 25 with a group subber, but just sending on your own. Test the waters at 25. See if it drums up demand. I have to imagine they think they have to drop pretty significantly to change the demand pattern. I don't think just dropping $5 changes much in regards to the math equation for most people sending. I could be wrong on that, but I'm curious to see what you guys and girls think on that. I feel like they should consider tweaking the price now and get ahead of PSA. Because if PSA does a price drop and then SGC does one in reaction to it, it'll kind of be like, you know, people will be like, oh, the only reason you did that is because PSA dropped theirs. And maybe that's the case. Maybe that's what they're waiting for. Maybe they're saying, hey, we're churning. People are willing to pay the $30 a card. You know, let the good times roll and we'll see what happens. But, and then, you know, Beckett's Beckett. And once again, the very curious part of all this is CSG and what their numbers look like over the next 60 days on the old Gemrate data. So that's all I have for you guys and girls today. I'll link to this in the description of the video. You could go through and read the whole individual report. I feel like you don't need to read all the numbers off to you. I just kind of wanted to talk about the PSA thing with them almost hitting 1 million, SGC breaking a milestone, and some of my thoughts about looking at these numbers as we spin this forward. So smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't. We will catch you guys and girls on the next one. Peace.